Gonna say hi to the camera. Stand up and say hi. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hey, you trying to say hi? Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name's Marissa Ray, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. So today I wanted to share with you guys my birth story. This is actually my first time being on camera since he was born, and he is now 2 months old. So yeah, I just want to chat with you guys for a little bit and let you know a little bit of my story. This is Chosen. He was born on October 3rd, 2022. At 8:48 a.m. he was 7 pounds and was it 8 ounces? 7 pounds 8 ounces, I believe. My birth was a vaginal birth, so I did have a vaginal delivery. I did get an epidural. Yeah, this is my first child. I've never gotten pregnant before. I was actually never on birth control before this. Like when I got pregnant, I've never been on birth control ever in my life. So yeah, this was like literally clean slate, fresh start for me, everything fresh. So where do we start? I delivered at 39 weeks pregnant exactly. So exactly 39 weeks pregnant. I was planning to actually go on maternity leave the day that I gave birth to him. I was planning to take leave that day, which was October 3rd. I was planning to not work. My due date was October 10th and he came on the 3rd. So I'm just trying to give y'all like some details first, you know, so that you can know a little bit of a backstory. My pregnancy was kind of normal. I didn't really have a rough pregnancy. Just like sciatic nerve pain in the 3rd trimester, tired, of course. I had not worked out really. Like I would take the stairs at work every day, but that's what, 5 days out of the week. And then but that was pretty much all the exercise I got, okay? But other than that, I was not as active as I was used to being. I used to work out all the time. Yeah, my pregnancy was normal. I never had any high blood pressure, no preeclampsia, none of that. No health issues, no complications, no high blood sugar, like literally no nothing. Medically, I was healthy. I had a healthy pregnancy. The only complaints I had was back pain, heartburn, only a tiny bit, so not much. And this boy was born with a full head of hair. Like, if y'all could see his hair right now, all this hair, he was born with a full head of hair. So, yeah. But I didn't really have bad heartburn. It was just only a few times when I had pizza. Not often, though. Yeah, so I pretty much was healthy. I only got swollen in my feet at the end of my pregnancy, and I also gained 54 pounds total, okay? So yeah, I gained a lot of weight during my pregnancy, but I'm losing it fast, and I am breastfeeding too, so just so y'all know. So starting with birth, I went into labor Sunday night, and that was October 2nd. That day we went to church, so like me and my husband, we went to church like normal, and I was actually like, I had got my braids done. Oh my gosh, yeah, my cousin did my braids. I had some knotless braids that Saturday before Sunday, that day. She did my braids that night. We didn't get done until 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was so exhausted, but I still got up and got ready for church because I was like, I think this will be my last time. I was like, I think this is going to be my last time going to church before I give birth. So let me just go ahead and go. So I made it. I got up, I got ready, did my makeup, did my face, you know, and I had been feeling cramps during service. So just period cramps, like normal period cramps. And for me, my periods were never bad. I never had bad periods. Only a few times that I had like a few little more painful cramps, but for the most part my periods were just like a mild cramp. Like, just, I never had to take medication, none of that stuff. So hey sweetie. So yeah, He's looking at everything. That was pretty much what I felt at church. My back was still hurting, of course. Y'all know I was in pain a little bit and so exhausted. But I wasn't at that point where I was like, oh my God, get this baby out of me. I didn't get that feeling. I was just more like, okay, yes, I'm in pain. And, you know, my back is hurting. I feel so freaking heavy. But for the most part, I was good, you know. So, yeah, I was feeling those cramps. That was it. I just had mild cramping during service. Me and my husband went to get food after church like we pretty much always do. We would always go out to eat pretty much every Sunday. We went to the mall, did some shopping a little bit, and I was tired. I was very tired, but at the same time, I was cool because I'm like, I'm not going to work the next day. The next day was Monday. I'm like, I ain't going to work. I'm officially on maternity leave now, a week early technically, because I was at 39 weeks, and I was good. So I'm just expecting this whole week to clean up the house, do all my final little touches of things. Finally packed my hospital bag that night because I didn't even pack my hospital bag yet. But I knew I had everything. I just hadn't put my stuff in the bag to go. So you are like very much, I don't know. But yeah, so that was that. So everything was normal. It was a normal Sunday. We took pictures. I'm going to insert the pictures that I took on here too. I posted them on Instagram. It was just a normal Sunday while I was pregnant. Tired, going to go take a nap, get some stuff done. That was it. And of course, like I said, I was going to pack that hospital bag. But y'all, when we got home, it was about 4 o'clock, okay? I used the restroom, and for my whole pregnancy, I was wearing panty liners every day because, you know, discharge. You have a lot of discharge while you're pregnant. Y'all, I saw blood on my panty liner, and that was the first time I had saw any kind of blood or anything while I was pregnant. That was the first time. I hadn't had no complications, no blood. I saw nothing. So when I saw that blood, I got so scared, and guess what? I was already about to pack my bag. Like we was at home. I'm like, okay, let me take a shower and pack my bag. That's what I was doing. I used the bathroom and I saw blood and I was like, oh snap. So I run and tell Kimmy, my husband, I'm like, babe, we got to go to the hospital, like ASAP. Like I was just in full blown, like, okay, let's go to the hospital. Let's go. Because y'all know, even though this is my first pregnancy, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I follow content on like Instagram that's like doulas basically that are on Instagram, you know, kind of explaining those things that happen when you're pregnant and about to go into labor. So I was kind of prepared, but at the same time when I saw blood, I don't know, it automatically made me scared. I didn't think, because I was expecting to like lose my mucus plug first, you know, like, and it not be bloody. Like when I saw the blood, I got kind of scared, and I'm like, oh snap, is my baby okay? Like what's going on? So yeah, so that is what I saw on my panty liner. I told him, and I'm like, we need to go. This was about maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. That Sunday, and then I called my doctor's office. Y'all know the office was closed, so I called the exchange number. And when I called them, it was a different doctor, and I explained to her what I saw, that I had been cramping that day, that I did start to have a few contractions that seemed more than period cramps. I told her that. So I quickly downloaded the app to track them, right? Because before, when I was on the phone with her, I told her I had not been tracking my cramps or anything yet. But she was like, okay, so that could be just a bloody show, which means like once your cervix finally starts to open, you know, this is what's coming out once your cervix is thinning before it's about to, you know, start opening up for when you're dilating and stuff. And so I'm like, okay. So she basically was like, just give it a little bit. She's like, track your contractions for the next hour or so. And then if anything is changing, call us back, let us know or whatever, you know. So, yeah, that was that. So I did exactly that. I went ahead and downloaded the app. I forgot what app it is. Yeah, I started tracking my contractions after that. And they kind of were like 7 minutes apart, 8 minutes apart, 6 minutes apart. And I believe once it's like 5 minutes apart for consistently for like an hour or a little bit more or less or something like that, you could be like in your early stages of labor, basically. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I called my cousin, and we was talking on the phone. I was telling her what was going on. Not my cousin who braided my hair, but a different cousin. We was on the phone and we was on FaceTime, and we was talking, and I'm telling her, and she's like, oh, you know, you could take a bath. You should take a bath and all that. I'm like, that's a good idea. So I went ahead and took me a bath. I sat in the bathtub for maybe an hour and a half, and just really relaxed because the water felt so good on my body. And yeah, and it just made me feel so much more relaxed and everything, being in that tub in the water. And yeah, so I was telling her still that my contractions was going on. I had a couple contractions in the tub that were about 5 minutes apart. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I think it's time for me to get out of the tub and make sure I'm all tidied and cleaned up just in case I do go into labor tonight. And so, yeah, hold on, y'all. Where was I at? So basically we had, yeah, after my bath, I was better, and I started having those contractions, and boom, I called the doctor back, and I was like, I think I am, are you okay? I was like, I think I'm really starting to go into labor, and then I started having chills. That was another thing. I was shaking and had chills. So she was like, okay, you know what? I think you should go ahead and go to the hospital. So we put the bags in the car, called my mama. We got in the car and we went straight to the hospital. Actually, no, we didn't. We stopped at Five Guys and got me something to eat. So I continue to time my contractions while I was in the car, while Kimmy was driving. But I was so hungry, y'all, and I'm like, once I get here, I know that I'm not going to be able to eat, so I better eat. So we went and got Five Guys. I had a burger and some fries, okay? I sure did. And it was good. It was delicious. We called all my family, not everybody, but like, you know, just my immediate, like my grandparents, my cousin, and my mama and his parents. And that's, you know, that was all we called to tell them. So when we got to the hospital, we had actually planned the next, like that week while I was going to be off of work, we had planned to like make sure we were good with the hospital, go up there, drive up there, make sure we know where we were going, all that stuff, because we just hadn't had the chance to do that yet. So hey, I went into labor, so we just had to do it that night. By the time I got to the hospital, it may have been about 9:30 or so, because after the tub, some hours had went by. We were still at home making sure we had everything. We got to the hospital about 9:30 something. I had eaten my food. We got in there, so we ended up just going to the emergency room and told them, hey, I'm having contractions. I was told to come on up here. I'm 39 weeks pregnant. Well, 38 weeks and 6 days, technically. They brought the nurses down to put me in the wheelchair, and they, you know, drove me up to the triage room, I guess, where she checked me for dilation, checked my blood pressure. Blood pressure was good. I had already dilated 3 to 4 centimeters at that point when I got to the hospital. I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated, and that was by like 10:30 or so. So she's like, okay, so yeah, you're definitely in labor. We're gonna go ahead and keep you, and we want to put you in a different room, you know, your labor and delivery room, I guess. Right. So yeah. So time had gone by, couple more hours had gone by while I was in labor. I was just dealing with the contractions. My mom had came, so it was just Kimmy and my mom in the room with me. I started contracting more, and they did start to get more painful. And I mentioned to y'all that I got the epidural, and the only reason I did is because I wanted to sleep so bad. I was so tired. Pain-wise, those contractions, like, the last time she came in and checked me before I got the epidural was at 5 or 6 centimeters dilated. And they were painful, don't get me wrong. And I feel like I could have continued naturally without the epidural. But I was so tired, and hours was going by. I'm like, I do not want to get ready to push and be this exhausted and then like have him here and still be exhausted. Like, that just did not look like a good picture to me. So I was like, you know what, let me just go in and get this epidural. And how I labored, pretty much, they brought out the medicine ball, and I kind of sat on that for a little bit, but child, I was just, I'm like, look, I want to sleep. So I did okay for a while, but after that I was like, let me just get some rest. And so that's what I did. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, so they came in and gave me the epidural. Only one person was allowed to be in there while giving me the epidural. Well, you're kind of spitting up a little bit. Oh, don't let it be much, sweetheart. Oh. So yeah, only one person was allowed to stay in there while they gave me the epidural. So my mom actually ended up staying. Kimmy had went out. He was real sleepy that night, too. Because he had been working really, really early hours and he was just tired. So yeah, yeah, so they gave me the shot. It wasn't bad at all. Like, they had to do it in between my contractions, so of course, so I wouldn't move and, you know, all that. So I was staying still. I did good though, like pain-wise. Even the nurse was like, oh, you're doing good. You're tolerating it well. You probably could have went without the, you know, without the epidural. But y'all, I wanted to relax. I didn't want to keep feeling the pain and knowing that I'm awake. Like, I was not going to be able to sleep. That's the thing. Like, even though I was bearing with it, I was not going to be able to sleep, okay? They gave me the epidural probably, it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on the 3rd. And so I was moving along. So basically it took about 45 minutes to an hour before it kicked in. So the pain wasn't all that bad still. So basically she gave me a peanut ball, which y'all know the peanut ball is the one that, like, it literally is the shape of a peanut. So too big size and kind of gets slimmer in the middle, so that I could lay on my side in labor and put the peanut ball between my legs. That was much more comfortable for me than being on my back. I hated being on my back. I didn't even want to push on my back. Like, I just did not. Like, if I wouldn't have got the epidural, I was not going to be on my back. I hate that position. I really do. It's not natural, and it's not comfortable. My body was so not comfortable on my back. So, but whatever. So, yeah, so I labored mostly for the rest of that morning on my side, back and forth. The nurse would come in every so often and turn me. And by that point, I could not feel my legs whatsoever. It felt so weird. I couldn't feel my legs, couldn't feel nothing. Yeah, but I was able to go to sleep. So in between contractions, I was sleeping. And, well, even during contractions, I was sleeping. Every time the nurse came in, she just would wake me up quietly, and it was peaceful in the room, and she would turn me and check me only a couple more times. Oh, by the way, so my water never did break. That whole time my water did not break. She kept checking me, and finally I got to 10 centimeters. I really don't know what time that was, but when she got me to 10 centimeters, they had to call my doctor and basically ask my doctor, did they want her to, like, break my water at this point? And she was like, yeah, go ahead and break her water, because I was 10 centimeters dilated, totally open. And they were like, yeah, we need to come and we need to go ahead and break your water. So the lady came in with this little stick thing and she broke my water. I didn't feel anything. Of course, since I had the epidural, I had to get that catheter put in, which I remembered watching that in videos and stuff. And I felt the pressure when she put the catheter on me when I got the shot. They didn't put it on me until after I was numb, though, because if they would have put it on me, put the catheter on me or in me, before, I definitely would have felt it. And it wouldn't have been feeling good. But it was kind of cool not having to get up to pee, because I know I was peeing frequently. So it was cool not having to get up to pee. I was just able to sleep for all the rest of those hours. So yeah, it may have been about 6 a.m. we started waking up and they started telling me to push. So I think I pushed for maybe an hour and a half total. Maybe not even, maybe an hour, maybe about an hour and a half. So the nurses, the morning nurses, of course, they switched crews, switched nurses, and those nurses started, you know, telling me like, okay, let's go ahead and push. And sometimes I would up my dose, like my medicine, you know, they give you a little button for you to press when you need more medicine. I don't really think I needed it, but I was definitely pressing that button occasionally. Okay, sweetie. Here. What's going on? As y'all see, he didn't eat for very long at all. Sometimes he does that where he only will eat like a little bit at a time just to kind of calm himself, relax like that. And then he's good. And sometimes he'll just fall right back to sleep. So he's funny. I don't know. where was I at? So yes, so yeah, I started pushing, and we first started pushing on my side, and I literally didn't know if I was pushing or not, because the epidural, y'all, I didn't feel anything. My legs were so numb, so I didn't know if I was pushing or not. They had to encourage me, like, oh yes, mama, you're doing it, you got it, mama, you're doing it, you're pushing. Oh, I see his head, da, 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 all that stuff. And I'm like, you can see his head. It was so weird. Even when the night nurse, when she broke my, when I was 10 centimeters and she checked me, she's like, oh, I feel his head up there. I'm like, you feel his head? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. It was just so weird. During that moment, it was just so weird, and like not weird in a bad way, but like weird in like a, dang, this is really happening, like a crazy, unique, scientific, magical way. So yeah, so they kept telling me a push, and this was definitely after 6:30, 7 o'clock or so, and I was pushing on my side. Either side, they would flip me. It was two of them, so it was a nurse and a student. My bad, y'all. My camera is about to die, and I'm surprised it hasn't died, but it did cut off on me. So I'm gonna try to get through the rest of this video without it dying on me. But yeah, so yeah, so I was pushing, and they basically yeah, she was like, did you want a mirror to see? I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want a mirror. I didn't want a mirror to see. But she did let me, she was like, did you want to feel his head? His head was right at the center. I'm going to have to call her back later. His head was right at the entrance. So I reached down, and I did feel his head and all this hair. I felt all hair and tender head, because the head is so soft when they first born. So it felt so weird. I was like, oh my God. But it was cool. So yeah, I just kept pushing. They just kept encouraging me to push. And once he was at the center of my cervix, or what am my pelvis, I don't know what I'm trying to say, y'all, but I don't know the technical term right there. But when he was right there, I did feel it. Not pain whatsoever, but I could feel this slightest amount of pressure. Like it felt like a ball was there, like tiny. It didn't hurt at all, like literally felt almost nothing, but I could feel the pressure. So I could tell that he was right in between my legs, like right there. And so I just kept pushing. Eventually, I kind of stopped because they didn't want me to deliver without my doctor being there. So the nurses were like, oh, we're going to have you stop now until your doctor gets here, because we don't want, they'll get upset if we deliver your baby. You deliver it and she's not even here. So my doctor finally gets there, and she wanted me on my back, which, like I told y'all, I didn't want to be on my back. But, with the epidural, what can I really do? So, yeah, so I'm just pushing, and I'm like, I barely know that I'm pushing, but I'm trying. I don't think I pooped, but when I look back at pictures, there is one picture where I'm like, okay, I think I saw a little tiny bit of poop. But, yeah, maybe, I don't know. So, basically, I'm pushing. When my doctor gets there, she, I'm like, hey, because I love my doctor. She's really nice. She props my legs up on that thing. I am gonna try to insert some video footage that we have. I should have said that before, but whatever. So yeah, she basically was just helping me to push. They kept telling me to push, 1, 2, 3, push. And it was on a sense of like whenever my contraction came. So I wasn't just pushing. They were able to look at that monitor to tell when I was having a contraction, because they did have the monitor on me for his heartbeat and contractions. So yeah, so they were able to see on the monitor when I was having contractions, and right then and there is exactly the time that I would push. Okay, hold on, y'all. That's when I would push. And so I would basically, and they was like, hold your breath to push, like deep breath and push. But on YouTube, y'all, as I was like not really talking to, but like watching doulas and other people's experiences, they had so many better techniques of pushing and laboring and everything like that. And it just feels like if I wouldn't have had the epidural, I would have had more control over how everything went, even though everything was great. Like even as I'm telling y'all this now, I didn't have any complications during birth. Like his heart rate was fine, my heart rate was fine, blood pressure was fine, nothing was a problem. Like literally everything was good. Yeah, eventually we kept pushing and his head was coming out. They're like, oh, his head is right there. You're doing it, mama. Just gotta get the shoulders out, you know. And so boom, he finally came out. And they placed him on me. So we did do skin to skin immediately after birth, after delivery. So he laid on me for a while before they took him and cleaned him up and you know, all that stuff. And Kimmy did cut the umbilical cord. He wasn't freaked out at all. He did good. He was just sleepy and kind of just a little bit didn't know what to do, even though I tried to prepare him a little bit. But as far as like him being scared or not being, you know, able to see stuff, he was fine. Like he watched the whole thing. He was good. And we both kind of just cried, you know, once they placed him on me. And I was like, wow, this baby literally came out of me. It just felt weird. I didn't, like, it wasn't like an instant connection. It was almost like, oh my God, is he real? Like, and he's laying on me. It was so weird, but it was cool at the same time. So that was how I gave birth. I will do another video with like my postpartum experience so that you guys kind of know that. Basically like my days in the hospital till now, postpartum experience. Yeah, I mean, I had a very not difficult birth, but I was in labor for several hours. Like, oh, it had to have been 12 hours or more. Cause yeah. So it was definitely about over 12 hours that I was technically in labor before I gave birth, but it was kind of peaceful, especially after that epidural, because I was able to sleep. I was able to sleep and I loved it. And before then the pain wasn't that bad. The pain only really started bothering me back, like where I'm like, oh, okay, I know I'm not gonna be able to sleep through this, is once I got to like 5 centimeters. And I'm like, all right, you know, I don't think I want to do this and not be relaxed and comfortable, you know. So yeah, I had overall a very, very positive birth experience. Very encouraging, peaceful, calm, you know. Yeah, that was it. That's how I gave birth to my baby boy. So, oh, I did tear. That's another thing. I did tear. Okay, y'all, I have to finish the rest on my phone. I'm still sitting here in this chair, but my camera did end up dying on me. Let me look at the camera. My camera died on me, so I gotta finish the rest on my phone because I do not feel like waiting for the battery to charge and then coming and doing all this again. So basically, like I was saying, I did overall have a very, very positive birth experience. I'm thankful. Oh, I was telling y'all that I did tear. So I tore and it was a 2nd-degree tear. So she took a generous amount of time stitching me up, maybe about 20 minutes, 20 plus minutes, to stitch me up while I was holding him, actually. So he did stay on my chest for a while. And then yeah, so and my tear was more on the inside. So you know, it's like they talk about the perineal tear, and the perineal area is like that area between your booty hole and your vagina, like the entrance of your vagina. My tear was not quite there. Mine was literally at the entrance of my vagina, like the side of my lips area. And yes, this is a little bit graphic, but you click this video, so I'm sure you may want to know the details. Maybe you don't, I don't know. If you don't care, then that's fine. But if you do, I'm just letting you know. But yeah, so I did tear and it was a 2nd-degree tear and my stitches were dissolvable. They are now gone. So yeah, we're okay. But yeah, so that was my birth story. Not bad. Not bad at all. Would I give birth again? Yes, I would. How many times? Probably just once more because I don't think I want more than 2 kids, but we'll see. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Like I said, I am going to insert footage as much as I can if I haven't already. So I know it's a long one, but I'm glad you guys stayed with me the whole time, if you did stay with me the whole time. And I hope you enjoyed this content. I will be doing a postpartum video and just some other little things. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also let me know down in the comments if y'all actually want me to do any other type of videos or give details or anything that I missed. But any other little things I will probably put in the voiceover, or I will leave details down in the description if necessary. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. And here's baby. So bye.
Right.
7 or 8:48. Perfect. Hi, buddy.
Good job,